Bit of Champions League review. Manchester City are favourites at 11-4 to win the Champions League. Liverpool at 6-1. Look, a good bet, don't they? Barca are also at 6. PSG 7s. Bayern, of course, doing well at 8-1. Juve at 11s. Real Madrid at 14s. Atleti Spurs at 20-1 each. Liverpool should qualify, obviously. They just need to avoid defeat against Salzburg and they'll make it through to the knockout stages. They should be favourites, shouldn't they? But I suppose you could argue at the moment. I don't know what the argument is.
Okay,
is there an argument?
Apparently not.
Well, I mean, who would?
Liverpool just beat Manchester City, didn't they?
Yeah. Who would you rather play right now? City or Liverpool?
I'd rather play City.
So, how can they be favourites?
It's weird, isn't it?
I think, and you know, we've kind of spoken about this before. My personal feeling is, as the season goes on, if Liverpool continue at the top of the Premier League, that becomes their focus. I think City have both eyes squarely on the Champions League. If they win the league, I think the Champions League is their priority.
Sure. The thing I'm forgetting though is the bookies. The bookies don't go on what we do. The bookies go on percentages and chucking stuff into a machine and diddle it all out and all that's part of it, right?
What do they do on the machine?
Well, they don't. It's not gut instinct for them. They work out the calculations, and the fact that City's through, right?
City through, yes.
Right. So the fact that City are through, they're probably going, well, you never know.
No, but even
there
if
must be some sort of percentage that it's possible that Liverpool don't go through.
Liverpool are strange at the moment, aren't they? In the fact they're top of the league, unbeaten in a million games, looking great. However, if you break it down, they keep winning by just one goal.
Well, that's terrible.
But who?
That's awful.
No, to that point, who isn't strange? I think is a bigger question here for the rest of the Champions League field.
But, just because Liverpool are the high-flying team at the moment, is it?
Well, I'll tell you what,
is it a point
argument.
of discussion?
Here's the argument. The argument I'll give you is that Liverpool, I do not think, are at the very best. I don't think they've been at the very best all season. But yet they're winning by a goal, we're saying, and we're actually thinking about criticising them. They've drawn one game in the Premier League at 14, 13? Mm-hmm. So
I get all of that, and I understand that. But as you say, from the start of the season, we've talked about Liverpool, and you've used that phrase a lot. We've yet to see them at their best.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is that a worry, considering that they've played so many matches and we haven't seen them at their best?
It would be a worry had they been drawn and losing. It's not a worry if you're winning.
I think it becomes a worry if there was a standout team in Europe.
Right.
If Lionel Messi and Barcelona were beating everybody by 5 or 6, if Real were doing this, if PSG lived up to expectations, but all of a sudden now we have a high-flying Bayern Munich who's going for fun, but at the same time we've seen them be as inconsistent as ever up until a few weeks ago. So I understand the point in that Liverpool, albeit winning, not overly convincing, but then you say that about everybody else. And then you remind yourself, Liverpool are defending European champions. They are one of the premier teams in Europe. In a stuttering field, I don't think they're getting much better than Liverpool.
And it's absolutely about them defending. No, you can argue that they haven't had that many clean sheets this year as they had last year, but they're losing a goal. You look at all the other teams, your Real Madrid, your Barcelonas, they're losing not one goal a game, they're losing 2 and 3. So the fact that they're not at their best, they're certainly not at their best going forward. They've got more goals in them for sure. And the fact that they haven't been as good defensively as they were last year, but they're only letting a goal in a game at most, then they're winning games. So is it half empty or half full?
Well, according to the bookies, of course, the same odds for Liverpool to win the league as well as Barcelona. And, of course, really, once again, we saw yesterday Lionel Messi in sensational form, a key part in their victory over Borussia Dortmund. 700 games he has now played for Barca. This is an extraordinary stat, isn't it? 613 goals and 237 assists in 7. It's PlayStation stuff. It's extraordinary. 34 trophies as well with Barca. Is it a lazy statement to say you can never write Barca off as long as Messi's in the team?
No,
it's true.
You've just shown us why it's true.
But they haven't won, obviously, Champions League for years now with him in that side. Roma and Liverpool in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Listen, winning the Champions League is hard. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's a hard task, and you need Lady Luck to be on your side as much as anything. If you don't have Lady Luck, the best person on the planet to have is Lionel Messi. I think that's without question. There's nobody who can impact a game in a more individual and greater fashion than Lionel Messi. And you take him all day, every day. But same token, you can't just rely on him to be superhuman every single week in, week out, which is what Barcelona have been asking him to do. And eventually that catches up with you.
Yeah, and I don't think they haven't won the Champions League because of him. It's not down to him. He put them in a position to be 3-0 up last year against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He did it. His performance in the first leg put them virtually through, but the rest of them couldn't carry them over the line. So it just shows, you need a team. It's not one man.
But they're a better team than they were last year, aren't they? On paper, they're a better team.
On paper, they are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they actually are. I mean, you talk about, again...
They looked good yesterday.
Yes. You talk about how fantastic they are one week, and then the next week...
Yeah.
They were drawing or losing to Leganés.
The weekend they laboured against Leganés.
I mean, and that's the point. One minute we hear, waxing lyrical about Lionel Messi. The only time we ever talk well about Barcelona is when Lionel Messi is plays out of his skin, right? Those two go hand in hand. And when he doesn't, all of a sudden we're talking about Leganés upsetting them. And that's the trouble. If he isn't at his absolute best, the rest of this team just cannot do it. If he is 99% of himself, Barcelona as a team cannot get the job done.
We had this argument at the start of the year about Barcelona, particularly me and Gab. Are they better signing Griezmann? Are they better now that they've signed Griezmann? And Gab and I were arguing. I said, well, no, because they've still got the same deficiencies defensively, and they haven't done anything about it. Listen, they were brilliant going forward the other night against Borussia Dortmund, but Borussia Dortmund had 2 fantastic chances that they didn't put away. That could have changed the whole game.
So do we agree Liverpool City are the top 2 favourites?
I think so, yeah.
Who's third?
I know PSG were 7-1 according to that graphic. I think PSG at 7-1, if you're a gambling man, is worth a bet.
Why?
I just feel, well, for one, you know exactly how strongly I feel about Keylor Navas. I thought that had been the Achilles heel for the last couple of seasons. I think they've addressed that in bringing him in.
They weren't good against Madrid, were they, this week?
Yeah, but they're qualified. They beat them convincingly last time around in Paris. I just feel as hopefully things settle down around Neymar and the rest of this team and Tuchel figures things out, they can be a very tough proposition.
Quickly, Stevie. Quickly.
No, nobody.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.